Hi, welcome to Chatting with Kat. If you're new here, hello. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I realize it has been quite a while since I have made my last video. And I figured today would be a pretty good day to restart those. Now, I may not remember why I go into a room, what I ate yesterday, or many other short-term memory things. But I know almost every detail of what I was doing 35 years ago. This one's rough. I had spent a week with my dad, since my parents were divorced. Spent a week with my dad and the woman that I refer to as his midlife crisis. I didn't want to go for that week because my baby brother had just been born and had just gotten home from the hospital. I really didn't want to go to my dad's. But my mom said, it's not like we're not going to be here when you get back. So reluctantly, I went to my dad's. Me and my middle brother went. Hi. Sorry. Cat decided to join me. And, oh my goodness, I'm so tired. Okay. Well, we had Christmas with my dad. And for the first time, we were going to have our annual Christmas Eve gathering on my mom's side of the family. Instead of going to my grandma's house, we were going to my cousin's house. So, we were supposed to be at my cousin's house at 5. My dad pulls up to my cousin's house, and he notices that my mom isn't there yet. And my mom was very punctual. We chalk it up to new baby. Things happen when there's a new baby. So he leaves, and my brother and I and the rest of the whole family are just patiently waiting for my mom to arrive. Well, about 45 minutes later, and I'm like thinking, good golly, Mom, you're running way late, but don't think anything of it. Well, at about 5:45, get a phone call. It is from one of my other cousin's ex-wives. She's in the hospital I'm not quite sure. I just know that she had to go to the hospital for something. Well, one of the nurses happened to ask her if she was related to my grandmother, because there was a patient brought in with the same last name that had been in a car accident. So she called my cousin's house telling us this, and panic set in. At the time, there were 2 hospitals with 2 different emergency rooms. We called both hospitals, got 2 different stories of where everyone was. And we waited, hoping soon we would get some kind of confirmation. And then my stepdad showed up to my cousin's house. He was escorted by the police. He walks in and my aunt said, "What's up?" And he said my mom didn't make it. And he said my little brother didn't make it. I asked about my oldest brother's fiance, and he said that didn't look good either. Sorry. We all got in the cars and went up to the hospital. I attempted to call my dad, but he had gone out to a location to where there was like 3 houses that basically had light wars, kind of like Deck the Halls. These houses just went Clark Griswold and couldn't locate him. I called a couple more friends, and the whole tiny town that we lived in had a message on my dad's answering machine by the time I got back to the house. But I digress. We're at the hospital, and I remember what was playing on the TV in the waiting room. It was A Very Brady Christmas. As I'm waiting to hear news on my grandmother that was in the car, I'm waiting to hear about my little sister. The sister of the man that from the other vehicle came up to me and attempted to hug me. I was basically numb at that point. A little while later, my little sister was getting wheeled by. She had a bandage on her head, and she was just under 2. We were worried, since obviously she had hit her head, that maybe there would be memory loss. But as soon as she seen my brother and I, she tried to reach up and come with us. we were happy that she obviously remembered us. My oldest brother's girlfriend had hit her head very hard on the back of the seat, and she had no brain activity. They waited until her family could come and say goodbye before they took her off of life support. I remember one of my brother's friends, oldest brother's friends, sitting in the corner just not making any facial expressions, not speaking, not anything. My middle brother's friend tried to make a joke to lighten the mood. It was not well received, but he had good intentions, and I didn't understand it at the time. I got upset when he made this bad timing joke. My life changed that day. I went to my stepdad's, well, my mom's. We had a Christmas basically opening up gifts and bawling. The day of the funerals, I should say, my brother's girlfriend's was early in the morning, and I physically could not function. I tried with all my might to get up and go to her funeral. I couldn't. When it came time for my mom's funeral, I got up and I went, and my mom was buried with my little brother in her arms. He had this little sleeper pajama thing that was like a tuxedo. And I'm not sure where the dresses that my mom had on, but it just looked like she was sleeping. Unfortunately, that's what my little sister thought too. I remember the whole entire football team being at the funeral in support of my middle brother. I remember people that I had known all my life that I hadn't maybe seen in a while, all being there, and it was at that point the worst time in my entire life up to that point. It has now been 35 years. And, yep, I still shed some tears. I got my yearly text. I got one from my oldest brother asking how I'm doing. I got one from the middle brother, and he sent me a picture of the headstone, so obviously he went to go visit her grave. And yeah, it's Christmas Eve, but it's always going to be the day I lost my mom and my brother, and the girl that was my oldest brother's girlfriend, and her and I were getting to be pretty good friends. So I guess my advice for everyone is hold your loved ones close to you. Tell them you love them, because tomorrow is never promised. My mom's last words to me, it's not like we're not going to be here when you get back. Those words haunt me. So just remember, tomorrow is never promised. But I do wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.